I always get on here unprepared, get a hankering to talk to you guys, and then I don't have a selfie stick or anything, so I'm trying to balance my camera on top of my steering wheel here. I was deciding between, do I want this light or do I want this light with my visor up, but it creates a glare in my glasses and it's a little too bright for me to see, so I think I'm going to leave it down. I might look a little flushed and sweaty right now because I just finished my walk. I'm dressed a little bit too warmly. I put on these long pants and I'm sweating a little bit too much. I should have worn shorts. I can't seem to figure out this weather we're having here in the Bay Area. It's kind of been really chilly at night, and I get up in the mornings and it's really chilly, and so I put on my long pants and sweater and, you know, try to get warmed up because it's like 65 degrees in the apartment. And then I go outside and go for a walk and it's much warmer and I'm inappropriately dressed. It's been warmer here just in general. I mean, we're still having weather like summer weather, and here we are coming up on the end of October. Weather's been in the 70s and 80s. Albeit, like I said, a lot colder at night, but still warming up significantly during the day. I was thinking about how, you know, how hot it can get inside of your car. The same thing happens inside of the RV, and I was thinking that I'd probably want to try my best to seek out weather in the 50s and 60s outside, because it's going to be much warmer inside the RV. But that might be a challenge these days. I don't know. I think it's hard to find the cooler weather. I can't go to too high of elevations because I get terrible elevation sickness. I once stayed in an Airbnb in New Mexico. It was at 6,500 elevation, and I was sick the entire time. I had to leave early. I was getting these terrible migraines. I'm a migraine sufferer anyways, which is a terrible pain to have, and nothing I could do would help them. So I can't go to higher elevations, so it would be a challenge for me to stay cool enough on the road. I guess I'd have to go to the coast or north. Anywho's, just to update you a little bit, I'm feeling better. You can tell perhaps if you saw my video about getting COVID. You know, I was sounding pretty congested on that video, but I'm doing better with the congestion. But okay, if I even think about it, I start to cough. I need some water. But my chest, my lungs hurt all the time. They're just so tight. It's like an elephant is sitting on my chest all the time. And I have this nasty cough that has a characteristic to it that I did not have before. But my daytime headaches have gone, and the back pain has gotten a lot better. Now I'm just back to my regular chronic back pain from osteoarthritis. So in any case, I'm trying to get back to my daily walking. I've never been a gym rat. I don't like exercising. I don't like going to the gym. I don't like lifting weights. I don't like any of it. But I love my walking because I love being outside in nature and seeing things around me. It's so healing to me. So I try to pick, you know, pretty places to walk, like where I am at right now. There's beautiful redwood trees and oaks and just eucalyptus trees, just the most gorgeous trees. Oh my gosh, I really appreciate our trees we have around here. So I'm trying to get back out and do my walking, and so that's helping, I think, my back. And, I just want to, in general, I'm thinking I need to like get in better shape and lose some weight and try and feel better in general with some of these chronic conditions that I have. Just to share some of them, some with you, I have a lot of inflammatory things going on with me. I've got asthma, I've got migraine headaches, I've got joint pain, back pain, osteoarthritis. I have a little bit of, what do you call, oh my God, I'm forgetting the name of it. The curvature of the spine. Oh my God, anyway, that's mild. I have some gut issues, which aren't fun. The only areas of my body that don't hurt are pretty much my hands are good, my elbows are good, my shoulders are good. I was talking to a neighbor the other day who has a ripped, torn rotator cuff and bursitis, and so far my shoulders are really good. And my knees and my legs and feet are pretty good. I do have some sporadic hip pain and some sporadic sciatica, but thank God right now it's sporadic. I started taking magnesium and vitamin C pretty regularly a few months back, and that sure is helping with a lot of my aches and pains, and I think even cutting down the number of headaches that I get. It's hard for us to get enough magnesium in our diet, apparently. The other thing I'm starting to do is get out in the sun a little more every day, like even just lay out on my balcony and get at least 10 to 15 minutes of sun, so I'm getting that vitamin D. So I'm kind of on a health kick right now. I think in a way this COVID was a blessing because it kind of has kicked me into gear that, I need to start doing something about my health, particularly if I want to get out on the road and feel good and not feel sick all the time, It's going to be a lot harder. It's hard enough in my apartment, but to be in a small space in an RV and not be feeling well would not be fun. So, you can't avoid getting sick, but I'm just talking about my chronic conditions. I want them to get better. And the main thing I need to do is bring down inflammation in my body. I just have a lot of inflammation. I've led a very stressful life, and I think that contributes to my stress. I have, just to share a little bit with you, I have post-traumatic stress disorder. And to be honest, part of me doesn't really want to lose weight. I think subconsciously I'm afraid of getting attention, unwanted attention. It's funny because as you grow older, you feel a little bit more invisible, especially now that I've gained this weight. I feel pretty invisible, and in a way, it's been a protection for me and a cloak that I can wear to feel a little safer in this world. So there is a part of me that is afraid to lose weight and look, great again because I'm afraid of getting that unwanted attention. It's funny how you get that unwanted attention from people you don't want it from, and you don't get the attention from the people you want it from. It's funny how that can work. But I think that, I have to put my health first and just be better about setting boundaries and being okay to say no and not have to don't worry about always being so nice to people and trying to be the people pleaser that I've always been. So it's a good thing that I think, now that I think about it, that I got the COVID, because now I'm kind of on a health kick. I've lost a few pounds. I've been intermittent fasting. And it's a funny thing. I don't know if I should show this. It's kind of gross. But look at my tongue. It's very white. There's this coating of white on it that started over the last few days. And, I got online to find out what it is, and there's differing, opinions and speculation about it. Some people say it's toxins coming out of your body, and another one said it's bacteria buildup on your tongue. I don't like the feeling of it. Yeah, it's not a good feeling. I hope it goes away. I'm trying to drink enough water, more water than I usually do. And I've started on this chia seed water kick. Well, it's not a kick, but I just started the last couple of days where I put in about a half a tablespoon of chia seeds and some water and stir it up and then let it sit for at least 30 minutes, and then I gulp it down. And I literally do gulp it down because it's kind of thick. But the chia seeds really help because I know I'm not getting enough fiber in my diet. So that's why I have some of my gut issues that I have. So I've got to do better with fiber. And the chia seeds are kind of a fast, easy way to do it. And there's also the chia seed pudding, which I like a lot too. You can look online if you don't know what that is, but it's a good thing to make at night. It's super quick and easy, and then you have it ready to go in the morning. So I'm going to start trying to be good about my chia seed pudding. Chias are also very hydrating to the body. It's one of the most hydrating things you can do. So that chia seed water is really good to have and drink daily if you can. Take some getting used to, but taking the magnesium and vitamin C is really sour. I take it in the form of a powder and put it in my water. It's pretty sour, but I just remind myself, this is for the good, Victoria. This is for the good. So in any case, I'm happy that I'm working on something to help with my health. And I keep making little by little progress on my downsizing. And but I'm funny. I have to confess something. I did a good job of going through all my closet and getting rid of things that don't fit me or that I don't wear or that I don't like anymore. And I took them down to the Goodwill, or actually it was a thrift shop near me, that I think benefits cancer. But now I'm like filling up my closet again with things that I do love. I'm having a field day with places like eBay and Poshmark and Mercari and ThreadUp, and buying used clothing that are like new or in excellent condition. And I'm just loving everything I'm getting. It's like, wow, this is really fun. It's a little risky. It's a gamble because you don't know if you're going to like it, anything you buy online. And then it's hard to return the things, because a lot of times you have to pay for return shipping, and it's like, okay, well, never mind. So it's a good idea to always, offer a lower amount than what they're asking, and they almost always accept it. So that's a little tip from me. But anyways, I'm laughing at myself because I'm kind of filling up my closet again with clothes that I just downsized. And but I did have a closet full of things that I just wasn't wearing because I didn't really like them. I just felt like I had to hang on to them because I spent money on them, right? It's like you don't want to lose that money that you spent, But in any case, the hardest thing for me to find online is pants, right? Because I've only bought 2 pair of pants. I've bought many, many tops, but it's so scary to buy pants because, you just don't know how they're going to look on you and how they're going to feel, right? Because my waistband kind of expands and contracts, and so I want a comfortable waistband, and it's hard to tell online if that's, going to be comfortable or not. So I may try the old-fashioned way and go to some stores around me and see if I can try things on in the store. I think we have a couple of outlet malls, and I can go to those, but I was sharing in my last video that I feel like these days I need to get elastic banded drawstring pants because I need to be able to feel comfortable in them, because even between morning and PM, AM and PM, my waistline can, expand. And by the end of the day, I'm like, these pants are too tight. Oh gosh. I'm sitting there watching TV and I'm thinking, these are too tight. I'm taking them off. And, but with I bought a new pair, well, they're not new, they're new to me, used pair of linen pants. And I have a little clip I'm going to show you about, show them to you. And they're so fantastic. I'm so happy with them because I bought them a little too big around the waist, but they have the drawstring that I can, tighten up to my comfort level. So it's great. So that's the kind of pants I want from here on out. But I want some cute jeans too, and they don't usually come as a drawstring. So anyways, yeah, continuing with downsizing, trying to get better with my health so I can get out on the road. I'm hoping to do a little camping trip in probably early November, either to the coast of California or maybe the middle of California, which, it's too warm really in the summer, but when fall comes, it's quite nice. So I might do that. There's some places I want to see. So I'm excited about that. It'll probably just be a short weekend trip. And that's about the size of it. That's about all that's going on for me. Just a lot of thoughts about, getting ready to travel, and I flip between positive thoughts and negative thoughts, to be honest with you. Am I going to be bored out there? Am I going to be lonely? Is it going to feel dangerous? I'm going to love seeing nature. I'm going to love seeing all these places I've wanted to see for so long. I'm going to love the freedom that I feel. I'm going to love the solitude and quiet, because I live in rather kind of a very noisy neighborhood. In fact, last night, kind of late, around 9:30 p.m., I hear this man's voice out in my hallway, yelling and groaning and moaning. I thought oh my God, somebody's dying out there, and I do live in a senior complex, so it's quite possible. And I open my door and I see it's my neighbor, and he's standing there like wobbling all over the place, and he's like, groaning and carrying on. And I'm like, oh my God, he could hardly get the key in his door, and I've never seen him like that. And I'm like, are you okay, Mike? Are you okay? He's like, yeah, dear, I'm okay. I'm okay, dear. I'm like, okay, are you sure? Yeah, I'm okay. And I hear him go in his apartment because he's my neighbor, and he's groaning and yelling in there, So this morning I come out and I run, of course. I hardly run into him for months. And then, of course, I run into him again this morning. And he looked at me so embarrassed and sheepish, and I was like, how are you feeling this morning, Mike? And he's like, I'm feeling better, thank you, a little hungover. And I was just honest with him. I said, you were in bad way last night. You're not a drinker, are you? He says, no, I'm not, but I've been kind of going through some depression. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I understand. That's hard. And we often go to food or drink or drugs to try to make ourselves feel better. So it was nice that he shared that with me, But yeah, I was saying to him, yeah, my drug of choice is food. I go to food when I want to comfort myself, when I'm going through some depression. And so my hope is when I get on the road that I will be so happy that I won't, eat too much, and that I'll eat healthy, and of course, and all these things I'm hoping I'm going to do. But I'm sure I'm going to succumb to eating at the bad food at some of these restaurants and stuff. And that's challenging for me, because one of my biggest chronic conditions that I have is what's called histamine intolerance. It's called HIT for short, histamine intolerance. And it means I can't eat a lot of foods that have histamines in them, like red wine has histamines, fermented cheese has histamines, vinegar, most alcohol, chocolate, what else? Kombucha, anything fermented, cultured. I can't eat yogurt anymore. Most cheeses are, whoops, dropped the phone. Most cheeses are off the menu for me these days, and I'm down to just fresh cheeses like cottage cheese and cream cheese. That's about all I can have, which is, you know, it's a real loss for me because I am passionate about food. I am a self-described foodie, and I literally cried when I got the diagnosis because it means that there's so many foods that are off the menu for me, and it just makes it super challenging for me to eat out. I mean, even salads, you know, are out for me because they will usually use dressings that have vinegar in them, and things that have vinegar I can't have. So it's just really challenging, and so I need to cook most of my meals myself, very simply, usually. I can have things like, you know, simply prepared meat, simply prepared vegetables. I can have butter, I can have olive oil. So I tend to have meals that like have maybe some rice, a vegetable, and a piece of protein meat. I can't have any legumes or beans. Those give me a terrible migraine headache, and that's usually how it manifests for me, is I get migraine headaches from these things that I'm basically kind of allergic to. So anyways, it just, you know, poses a challenge for me on the road, and I'm just hoping that when I get on the road that I am able to stay healthy and prepare meals and eat well and stick to my low histamine diet that I need to stick to. So that's a concern, and that's why I think it's so important for me to do a test run early next year and go out for as long as I possibly can, and just try out to see what it's actually like before I give up my apartment, which I love. And I love this area in which I live, and so it's hard to give this up, as I have shared many times before. You know, people have commented on my videos saying, I think you should keep the apartment and just do short trips, you know, here and there, or month-long trips. But mind you, that's not so easy for me to do. I am still working, and so the most time I can take off every year is 2 weeks, you know. So let's say I want to go see the Niagara Falls in New York, and there's so much I want to see in the Eastern Board, so much. I have family history there, places I want to visit because of ancestors of mine. There's so much I want to see. So I'm driving like the Dickens all the way out to Niagara Falls. It's going to take me a whole week to get there, and I'm driving every day, and I'm like racing to get to Niagara Falls, and like, oh, okay, this is beautiful. Oh, this is gorgeous. Okay, time to turn around and drive back home again. It's going to take me a week to get home. So that doesn't make any sense. I can't do that. I can't like take off for 2 weeks to see Niagara Falls. And you might say, oh, well, just fly out there. Well, that's not so easy either. It's expensive to fly out there, rent a car, drive up to Niagara Falls, pay for all the food I'd be eating out, and not be, you know, preparing my own foods and eating this bad food that's very expensive and making me sick. And then also renting a car, paying for the accommodations, paying for any fees, paying for the airfare. That all gets very expensive. Meanwhile, I'm paying for the RV rent to store in my storage, and I'm paying for rent at home, and then I'm on top of that, I'm paying to fly to Niagara Falls. So I'm not rich by any means, and if anything, I'm trying to save money right now. As I get older, it's really important that I be super mindful about what I'm spending. So the truth of the matter is I just wouldn't go. I just wouldn't spend the money, and that's what it's always been like. I haven't, you know, I can squeeze in 2 weeks a year, and then, you know, that's all I can usually afford to do. I can't afford to do it all. I just can't. So the most I could do is, if I chose to somehow like try and keep my apartment, is maybe travel to Western states. That I could do. But there's still so much I want to see. There's, you know, the middle of the country I want to visit, and I want to see Canada, and I want to see the Eastern Board. So I just don't see how I can really do both. It's kind of one or the other, because storing my RV is not cheap. It's really getting expensive, and it's hard to justify that, you know. I can't do it. So Um, so in any case, I just want to feel certain though that I'm not giving up my apartment and this place, the area that I love, where I live, that I love so much, before being pretty certain that I would like to be on the road. So that's my thinking. Hopefully it's wise. I'm getting a little, I have to say, this has been in the making for a very long time, so I do feel a little bit anxious about getting out on the road, but I want to be smart about it. Okay, well, I've gone on long enough. It's funny because in person I'm kind of not a big talker, but when I turn on this camera, boy, can I talk, right? I can't believe I can go on for so long. It's a funny thing. When I was a child, I was so quiet and shy. I was like a mute practically. I would hardly talk. And here I was like a cheerleader and all that, but I was the shyest girl around, and I just hardly talked. And, that's still somewhat the case now that even when I'm older now, although I'm more of a talker than when I was a kid, that's for sure. So anyways, I appreciate you listening to me, and I hope you are doing well out there, and get out and vote. Bye.